Alright guys, so what we've got here is our set of the Sears Tele-games tennis paddles. There's 2 paddles to 1 plug-in on this, and this one was making a lot of noise, so I took it apart to see what was going on. There was 2 things. One, there was a piece of plastic that was broke, and then also our purple wire here that's supposed to be soldered down here is broken. So we are going to take the plastic off from the end of the wire, and we're going to resolder it back onto the controller. So as you can see, we were able to solder our wire back on. Another problem I noticed with this is there's a plastic piece right here that's broke. Well, that was inside this housing, so I'm going to see if I can't try to super glue that back on. And the ideal is when this spins, it'll get hooked on one or the other to keep it from just continuously spinning and breaking the wire like what happened here. So I think what's happened is, since this was broke, when somebody was moving this around, this board moved too far, got the purple line in a bind, and caused it to break off from here. So we'll see what we can come up with on this and go from there. So here's the original piece that broke. I don't know how much luck we're going to have gluing it, getting it to hold, but I'm going to use some 2-part epoxy. So we're going to use this to try and glue this plastic piece back inside the controller. This is JB Weld plastic bonder. This is pretty strong. I've used it before. The only downside is the color that's tan. However, it doesn't really matter for what we're doing because you won't be able to see it from the outside anyways. But this stuff works pretty good with plastic. It's pretty strong. So we're going to put a little bit on this, a little bit inside, let it sit overnight, and then see what we got. Alright you guys, so our glue has dried inside here. The little plastic piece is nice and stiff, so I think we're good. Now what we're going to do, if you'll notice, this board is on this side and it should be over here between these. That's the whole idea, is that these two pieces of plastic holds the board in place so that when you spin this, the whole thing doesn't spin. If you see now when I hold it still, you can move the top and it works as it should. So the reason why I left it over here whenever we glued this is because I wanted to have room to work here, and I knew if this was in the way it was going to be hard. If this were to hit it, it would fall over, etc. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop this off, and then if you see here, that's not even tightened down on top of there. So we're going to take this apart. We're going to move this to here, like it should be, between these two black pieces, like this. And then we're going to put this back together. Alright, we got this nice and tight now. We can move this around without the whole thing spinning. So now we're going to put the button back in place and put this thing together. We finished this, we've got it back together. Everything seems to be working well. The button's responsive. This doesn't continuously move, it just moves to each side as far as it should. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in, test it out, and go from there. Alright guys, so we fixed our paddle controller for our Sears Tele-games, and we're going to test it out with Night Driver. Oh boy. Well, as you can see, it does work. The worst problem we've got here is my ability to control this thing. So, all in all, we've been successful with fixing the controller. Maybe you'll have an issue like this yourself, and you can repair it the same way I did. So there you have it, folks. We were able to fix our paddle controller. You could tell by the test video that everything is working as it should. We fixed the plastic piece inside of here that holds the board in place. So now the dial will only spin so far each way and then it stops just as it should. And we also resoldered the wire back on. My assumption is that somebody was playing this and they were getting a little too carried away whenever they were turning this, broke the piece of plastic, and then once the whole dial started spinning, they broke the wire off. You may encounter something like this on your own, or if you're purchasing one that's damaged, that may be what's wrong. We used the two-part epoxy to fix the plastic piece inside. I'll put links to all the products that we use to fix this. And until next time, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, and we'll see you soon.